Do not go out and buy a Mother's Day card this year. I was able to create this card in right around 15 minutes. It's so simple to do, and they look absolutely amazing when they're done. If you have not tried the pop-up card feature in Silhouette Studio yet, you are missing out. It's super simple, and most users just overlook that feature completely. Hi, I'm Brenda Lambert. I'm a TJC licensed instructor for Silhouette. You found your way to Silhouette Success. I do hope that you're going to join our little community. I'm going to start out in Silhouette Studio to walk you through all of the steps. Again, super simple, and then we'll put the card together so you know exactly how to do it.
This is the design we will be working on today. I've created all of the elements ahead of time to save just a bit of time during this tutorial. It was getting a little bit long. So here I have created a card base. It is 10 by 7, and you can easily create a card base by going up to File, opening the new project wizard, clicking on Card, and then Start. That will bring a card base with the score line onto a brand new mat, and you'll be good to go. For the inset, all I did here was duplicate my card base and adjust the size to 6.5 inches wide, and that's going to leave a 1/4 inch of the card base showing all around the edge for just a pop of color. To decorate the front of the card, I've created a rectangle and filled it with this PNG from Creative Fabrica. This one is slightly different, but it matches well. It came from the same bundle. I added my text in matching fonts, and I used the eyedropper from the color fill panel to choose a color that would look nice with the card. If we move these elements out of the way, you can see that this one also has a score line in the middle of the rectangle. This is important to line up your score lines once we get the pop-up feature completed on this. Let's set this to the side for a minute. We're going to start by working with Happy Mother's Day. We need to create an offset around that. So let's open up the offset panel and click on offset. We want the offset to be large enough so that all of the words are joined together. Let's bump that up and click apply. Now there are several areas within the offset that we do not need. So let's right click, release the compound path, and then go through and select all of the pieces on the inside that we don't need. Holding down our shift key and clicking on each one, we can right click and delete those. The next thing we need to do is pull our text out of the way. This is the shape that we will create our pop-up with. Let's open up our pop-up panel, select our shape, and turn the pop-up feature on. Once the pop-up feature is enabled, you can see here it has created our base, and each of these are called struts. We're going to adjust each one of these so that they are a little bit wider and sturdier. We can start with the base. I want mine to go almost all the way across. Let's start bumping that up. Now for the struts, I don't really want these thin ones in here, so we can increase the width on those and they should join together. That looks good. You can also adjust your dash pitch, and that just makes the dashed lines a little bit longer, but I am not going to mess with those today. We're going to leave those just as they are. The next thing you want to do is align this mark with the center of your card. Let's go ahead and pull that down till they're lined up. We can select the card and the pop-up cutout and align the centers. Now we want to ungroup the card and the score line. Select the score line and delete. Select our pop-up cutout. Then we need to grab these red dots and drag them all the way out past the edge of the card. Now when we go up to the send panel, let's zoom in here. You can see that the software has automatically made it so that the struts and the base have combined with the outline of the text, and this area here is not going to cut, so it will stay connected. Now we can go ahead and put our design back in there, and we can work on exactly what we want to cut and what we don't want to cut. The PNG is set to no cut already. That is good. We do not want Mother's Day to cut out, so let's select that and click no cut. That leaves us with the base being cut and the pop out being cut. And that's exactly what we want there. Let's go ahead and print this off and send it through, and we can move on to the next part from there. The colors on this card are absolutely amazing. I am in love. Remember when you're doing a print and cut that you want to close the lid. You don't want any outside light getting to that sensor. Outside light can cause shadows and glares, and it will cause your reading to be off a bit. Once your machine has read the registration marks, you can go ahead and open the lid to take a peek to see what's going on in there. If you are using the Cameo 5 or the Curio 2, you can create your score lines using the embossing tool instead of going with the perforated cuts. I just went ahead and did it with the auto blade this time and created the perforations. The machine is going to do all of the perforated cuts first and then move on to the regular cuts. Remember to check your cut before you unload your machine. If it did not cut properly, you can run it through again as long as you have not removed your mat. Flip the mat over and peel the mat up away from your card, keeping the card as flat to the work surface as you possibly can. This is going to prevent any curling. The inside of the card is all finished up. It's absolutely beautiful. Let's move on to the front of the card. We're going to do it in the exact same way. Now we have the front of the card. All we have left is the base of the card. I am cutting this out of colored cardstock. I do not need my registration marks on anymore. So I've turned them off, and this is just going to be a regular cut. Again, it's going to start off with the perforated cuts and then move on to the outside cut. Okay, now we have our card base and the front of the card and the inside of the card. This is the base here that we adjusted, and these are all of the struts. When you fold these on the score lines, it's going to look like a little step, and when it's closed up, it will fold flat. Open it up and it pops out, giving the 3D effect. When I am doing cards like this, I like to tape down the solid piece first and get that secure and in place so we can get it lined up properly without too much hassle. You want to make sure the edges around the inside are pretty even and the score lines match up, and then just press it in place. Now we can work on gluing all of this down. Some of these little bits and pieces will need a dab of glue because the tape is going to be too wide. You want to be sure that you're not taping down any of your design or the struts. Just fold this over like this. And we can add the front of our card now. I would typically use the foam tape on this to give it a little bit of dimension, but I am all out, so we are just going to go with the tape runner today. If you want to create something a little bit more sparkly, you're going to want to catch this video here. It shows you how to use the heat foil tool, and these two can be used in combination to make something absolutely stunning. If you have created a Mother's Day card and you want to show off your creations, head over to Facebook and join the Facebook group. I'll put that in the description below. It is the
best place to show off your creations, get quick answers, and just have conversations with like-minded people. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.